November of 1989, Detective Comics number 608 introduced a new character, a new foe for the Batman to face off against. One created by the greats Alan Grant and Norm Breyfogle. Intended to be just a one-off storyline, this new player on the Gotham City stage captivated readers and prompted many storylines in the 90s and early 2000s, although some of the changes and retcons to the character did not always please the fans. Maybe one of the most politically and socially charged antagonists ever presented in Batman lore, he became a symbol of anti-capitalism and statism, took on such topics such as environmentalism and anti-militarism. We could only be talking about the teenage prodigy Lonnie Machin, otherwise known as Anarky. I personally consider his first appearance one of my favorite two-part story arcs in all of Detective Comics, and I'm excited to present it to you this week as our latest addition to Welcome to the Comicverse. But before we begin, we'd appreciate it if you like and subscribe, comment, and share this video out. It really helps out the channel each and every week. Thank you. Our opening panel gives us our first look at the golden-faced, red-cloaked menace that would soon give the Batman pause with his violent methods to induce societal change. In Part 1, Letters to the Editor, with the September 1st, 1989 edition of the Gotham Gazette in full view. The first letter is a complaint from Dave Stang about the opening of a heavy metal rock club and how it has ruined the neighborhood with noise pollution and drug addicts. The second, a concerned citizen writing about the Gotham River's pollution count due to the unregulated factories built on its shores. And this is where we begin. Evening in Gotham has brought out the youth to the newest club to open, the Heavy Club, thrash metal, and with it, the allure of illicit drug use, as three young friends are about to discover. As they approach the club, three other men in an alleyway entice them with crank, a synthetic amphetamine, because after all, what's speed thrash without the speed? Little do they know, they are not alone. A solitary figure observes from the rooftop, observes a scene he has witnessed all too often. Kids too old for their youth and too young to know better. And as the dealers try to close the transaction, he interrupts. The dealers, shocked at the voice above them, turn their heads skyward. The Batman descends upon them. The dealers plead with him. They are only small fish, way too small for a major hero like the Batman. The Dark Knight answers back by slapping the drugs on the ground because no crime is too small for the Batman, especially when it involves that trash. The dealers complain that the Batman just spoiled hard cash, and then one of them pulls a switchblade, threatening the Bat, telling him he's going to bleed. A stupid move. Really stupid. The Bat disarms him with one swift kick and then pulls them all into the alleyway for a lesson to be learned, a lesson they may never fully understand. Our buyers look on in shock before running for their lives. As the police arrive to collect the Batman's trash, the Batman sprints over buildings until he arrives at the Heavy Club and crouches in the skylight, taking in that night's main act, Solid Blood, fronted by Johnny Vomit. Too bad for Johnny that he didn't just stick to making music though. As the Bat crawls through the rafters, he knows he can only wait. If he busts Johnny now, it will turn into a riot. So he does the only thing he can. Wait, and put earplugs under his cowl. Meanwhile, a red-cloaked figure darts across the darkened streets, in and out of alleyways, remembering that 70 years ago, Scudder Clyce of Friendship, Tennessee, wrote a book called Universe. In it, he attempted to unify all knowledge, gravity, Einstein, the Constitution, democracy. Using physics, he solved the problems of age, sex, life, death, immortality, good, evil, and taxes. 18 publishers rejected it, but still, in its pages, he found the secret of the universe. At that same time, Solid Blood was leaving the stage, much to the Batman's relief, and by the looks of it, he is right. The band is into more than just music as he witnesses three out-of-place men in suits push their way into the band's dressing room. Johnny Vomit welcomes them. Larry, Mo, and Joe. Johnny wasn't expecting them, but here they were. Larry and Mo take Johnny behind a partition for a private meeting. The rest of the band couldn't care less. Johnny opens up his guitar, a false interior, easy to get through customs. Inside, heroin. And as the exchange happens, the group gets more than they bargained for. Crashing through the ceiling above, the Batman exclaims that obviously none of them got his message. He delivers it again. this time with his body. 3-on-1, same as earlier that night, but these creeps know how to fight. As the Batman throws Joe headfirst into a wall and fends off Larry at the same time, Mo grabs Johnny's guitar and smashes it across the back of the Batman's head. Mo knows enough to follow through, make it count, make it hurt. With them, the Batman can now take off the gloves. Riddled with anger, the Batman tells them that the fun times are now over. Meanwhile, Johnny runs. Money and drugs in hand, he can still come out on top, even if the band is now finished. He makes his way for the exit and back alley and potential escape. What Scudder Clyce discovered is simple. The common man is always right. That's the secret of the universe. The common man is always right. The voice of the people is the voice of God. As Johnny runs out the door past the dumpsters, he comes face to face with our golden-faced red-cloaked figure, wielding a golden staff. Johnny is startled, scared, and falls back. Our mysterious figure leans in, tells Johnny that he's a fan, and Johnny's confused. How does he know him? What is going on here? Our new player asks Johnny what he's got. Johnny clutches his drugs and money and tells this new fan to stay away from him, but he doesn't. He raises the golden staff and emits a shock of electricity, enough to stun Johnny into releasing his precious items. The figure in red tastes the heroin, confirming his suspicions, and tells Johnny that this is not very nice, that Johnny is a man of responsibilities. His fans look up to him, copy him, listen to him, and now he betrays them like this. Johnny begs his attacker to just let him explain, so his attacker asks him, "Why vomit? Why call yourself that?" Johnny answers, "I don't know, I just kinda liked it." Holding the golden staff to Johnny's face, our attacker responds, "Yes, it fits," and releases a full blinding charge of electricity into Johnny's skull. The voice of the people is the voice of God, and where better to hear that voice than through the columns of the people's paper. Dave Stang, this one's for you. As Johnny lies unconscious, his attacker, using red spray paint, leaves a message and a symbol on the brick walls. The symbol of anarchy. The message, "I deal drugs, I kill kids." When the police and the Batman find Johnny, it appears that the Batman has competition, and they find something else. Another note left by the attacker, a copy of Dave Stang's letter to the editor, containing his complaints about the Heavy Club. The police wonder if it could have been Dr. Fate. They mistake the symbol for black magic, but the Batman corrects them. It's a political statement, or rather, an anti-political statement. Anarchy, the absence of any ruling authority. The Batman has seen enough. He heads off to find Dave Stang and question him about all of this. Meanwhile, a bucket on a string dangles from a golden staff into the murky waters of the Gotham River. Mrs. Betty Turpin of Randolph Street wrote to protest the pollution. The water, so precious, so necessary, is being poisoned. The people do not like it. The people, through Betty Turpin, have raised their voice, and our cloaked friend has heard them cry out, and when they cry out, their champion answers. Carrying the bucket of sludge, he makes his way to the Bates chemical factory. The security guard does not know what to make of the approaching figure, and as the security stands to confront him, what he calls an early Halloweener, he does not see the small explosive with an anarchy symbol painted on and already lit to go off. The golden-faced, self-proclaimed people's champion insults the guard back, calling him a running dog lackey of the capitalist conspiracy, victim of socio-economic forces beyond his control. Too many big words for the guard to understand, but it does not matter. The explosive is tossed and gas engulfs him, putting him to sleep. The red-cloaked figure enters the building with disregard for his latest victim. As Bates' chemical is breached, the Batman arrives at Dave Stang's apartment. Coming in through the open window, he finds an elderly woman and asks for Dave Stang. At first startled, the woman quickly realizes that she's in no real danger in the presence of Gotham's Dark Knight. She tells the Batman that she was afraid to put her real name on the letter to the editor, in case the thugs from the club try to seek retribution for her complaints. So she chose a tough name to ward them off. The Batman agrees with her, tough as they come. He then admits that he does not have to guess if it was she who electrocuted Johnny Vomit. The woman tells the Batman, "No, I'm afraid it wasn't, but if you're looking for someone to do that sort of thing, well, she wouldn't shirk from it. There's a lot of crime and evil out there in this city of ours, and if electrocution is what it takes, then that's what it takes." The Batman, offering a rare smirk, tells her that he'll let her know, apologizes for bothering her, and leaves as she compliments him on his great work. The Batman contemplates his next move as he surveys his city, knowing now that he no longer is alone in the fight against crime, a thought that has him uneasy. Meanwhile, Anyone who reads the Financial Times knows that Mr. Bates, CEO of Bates Chemicals, regularly works until midnight. It is his dedication to hard work and his insatiable greed that has made him the man he is today, one with a total lack of concern for the environment, the type of man the common people do not like. And as he sits at his desk, he does not hear the intruder or anticipates the stunning shock of electricity that renders him unconscious. Mr. Bates, a man who follows the water for profit, he will have to learn the error of his ways and become a lesson to others. Our intruder pours the smoldering sludge pulled from the Gotham River onto Bates's desk and readies a video recorder. For the Batman, the night always ends too soon, not enough done, too many criminals left out on the street. As for Johnny Vomit, his heart stopped twice on the operating table, but he's still alive. As for the assailant, the Batman knows he has not heard the last from him. It is now morning in Gotham. The sun rises over Wayne Manor. The morning news is broadcasting breaking news. The sun is also rising over a quiet suburban home, one where Lonnie Machin is just coming home from his paper route. Bruce Wayne enters his kitchen where Alfred is preparing breakfast, while Lonnie tells his mother that he's back as she cooks for her family. Both Bruce and Lonnie sit as the television continues to report. Then Mrs. Machin calls for her husband Mike to get downstairs. The food is ready, but Mike is still in bed, and he's going to be late for work again. As Bruce sips his coffee, Mike Machin apologizes. He must have had a restless night. Mike tells Lonnie that he will skip breakfast, or else he'll miss the bus. His son Lonnie asks if he wants to see the news. It looks interesting. The news station has received a video package, one that could be unsettling for some viewers. The symbol of anarchy is displayed. Mr. Machin dismisses it. He has to go. Then the tape plays. It is our mysterious assailant introducing himself to the world for the very first time. His name, Anarky. He then espouses his beliefs and motivations for his actions. He takes credit for Johnny Vomit. Bruce notices something about the voice, muffled, but there's something about it he cannot quite understand. But now, Anarky is about to punish another. The camera shot now includes Mr. Bates, tied to his chair, the bucket of sludge still steaming in front of him. His sludge. Anarky introduces him to Gotham, lists his crimes against the common man, against the environment. Then, Anarky asks if Mr. Bates has anything to say in his defense. Mr. Bates tells Anarky that he's crazy, that all of his standards meet government regulations, that their waste is as pure as can be. Anarky challenges Mr. Bates to put that statement to the test, and then submerges his face into the bucket. After a few seconds, he brings Bates' head back up to see if he's had a change in perspective, but he hasn't. Anarky dunks his head once more. While Bates chokes on industrial waste, Anarky gives the people of Gotham a choice. Either they are part of the solution, or they're part of the problem. They should look into their hearts and choose well. For if you are an enemy of the people, Anarky will seek you out and destroy you. Alfred lowers the volume and remarks that this anarchy will garner a lot of support in Gotham. Bruce responds that he won't get it from him, to which Alfred challenges Bruce. After all, does not the Batman use illicit means from time to time? But Bruce tells Alfred he never uses violence as punishment, only when it is necessary and called for. Bruce is determined to not let one man become judge, jury, and executioner. He must stop anarchy. Then he asks if the morning papers have arrived. Alfred tells him yes, and he's laid them out in his study. As Bruce sits to read the letters to the editor section, the only clue left to Johnny Vomit's attack, he knows that this criminal is like the rest. They have their routines, and hopefully, the next time he uses the letter to the editor section to select a victim, he will find the Batman waiting for him. Issue number 609 picks up from there with the second part, Facts About Batman. Bruce Wayne is touring the construction site of the soon-to-be-built Gotham Euro US Bank. He is there because he's looking for Anarky, a vigilante with violent tendencies, who chooses his victims using the letter to the editor section of the Gotham Gazette. This morning, there was a letter complaining about the building of the bank instead of housing for the homeless, a perfect target for Anarky. But as the head of the new bank reveals the honorary construction plaque in dedication to the project, it is revealed that Anarky has already made his statement. He has vandalized it with his signature symbol. Meanwhile, at Restif Junior High School, Lonnie Machin is talking with his classmates between periods. Lonnie has homework to catch up on, which surprises his friends because Lonnie is the smartest kid in school. But He accepts their offer of pizza and a movie that night. Back at the construction site, a homeless vet with no legs is questioning a police officer about the delay in the construction ceremony. He asks if this has anything to do with that Anarky guy. Bruce overhears this. Anarky's message is starting to resonate already. But something even more concerning. Another homeless man is holding a can of red spray paint. The legless vet wonders if Anarky vandalized the plaque. It appears they are more than inspired by Anarky's message. As the bank owner leaves, the legless vet screams at him, tells him to get out and never come back, that their offices are not wanted, and then picks up a brick to throw it. But the police restrain him. The homeless vet lets loose a tirade as the officer threatens to forget about him losing his legs and arrest him anyway. The amputee shouts back, "Lost him? Lost him? You stupid flathead, I didn't lose him. I know exactly where my legs are, spread over 20 meters in the Mekong Delta." The homeless are upset because the construction site was their cardboard city. It wasn't much, but it's all they had, taken away for just another big bank. The legless vet's friends pull him away, keeping him from getting arrested. As the cop restores order, Bruce mentions that the homeless man may have had a point. There is a need for more low-rent housing. But the police officer merely shrugs off Bruce's comments and tells him to talk to his councilman. He's just here trying to do a job. Bruce then has Alfred take him to the office. Meanwhile, a computer with the logo of the Batman is booting up. The title of the report? Facts about bats. The computer flickers images of the Batman, while an individual types various theories about the Dark Knight's motivations and personality. He must be obsessive, but not mad. Responsible for almost 500 arrests last year, and whether sympathetic or not, he will come after his prey. He will view his actions as criminal. He will hunt for him, unless Anarky can surprise him. Our next panel is that of Mike Machin in his cubicle, the symbol of Anarky on his terminal screen. His co-worker Lou asks Mike if he's playing a new game, but Mike just tells him he's amusing himself with tables of comparative risk. Lou then invites Mike for a couple of drinks after work, but Mike declines. He wasn't able to accomplish a lot that day. He's going to have to stay, put in some overtime, and as Mike Machin holds his head in his hands, the bat signal is already shining in the sky. The Batman startles awaiting Commissioner Gordon. He's already guessed that the commissioner must be worried about Anarky on the street tonight. There are two events that could hold Anarky's interest. One at the Gotham Hilton for Colonel Manu, the other at the Lux for the Gotham Euro US Bank. Either are a prime target. Even the FBI is helping with the Colonel Manu event. However, the commissioner wonders, in the world's biggest democracy, we pay our taxes to keep a dictator safe. For the commissioner, he just doesn't understand that logic. He tells the Batman that they have no evidence that Anarky will show, but he wants to be prepared. Then he realizes he is now talking to no one. The Batman has vanished again. The Batman swings between buildings to the Lux Hotel, coincidentally just past the Gotham Insurance Building, where Mike Machin is working late, and now calling home to his wife Roxanne to inform her of his situation. He asks if she and Lonnie will be alright that night. Roxanne tells him that Lonnie's out with friends. Then Roxanne asks Mike if he's okay. As a wife, she senses that something is off, but her husband reassures her that everything is fine. He is just bushed and has a lot of work to complete. And as Mike hangs up the phone, he also says to himself that he has some serious thinking to do, and continues to stare at the symbol of Anarky on his computer screen. The Batman is doing some serious thinking as well. He thinks about all the waiting he has to do, waiting for night, for a creep to show up at the right time, the wrong place. They say if you wait long enough, the whole world comes by your door. As the Batman observes the Lux Hotel, he also observes a mugging in progress in the alley below. A man with a gun, and there's no sign of Anarky yet. So he does what he does and disarms the attacker with a batarang, then leaps down, delivers a kick with both feet to the back of the mugger's head. He asks the victim to call it in. The victim smiles and says with pleasure. Then the Batman returns to his gargoyle perch. After the victim leaves and the bat has ascended, Anarky uses the shadows to sneak through that same alleyway. For him, it's a new age, and Gotham needs a new kind of hero, and the night needs a new kind of monster. It needs Anarky. Back at the bank construction site, a group of homeless vets gather around a barrel fire to keep warm. They curse their return home from war, long for the days when they were soldiers. Even though they were getting shot at, they still had 3 square meals a day. As they argue over a bottle of liquor, Anarky spray paints his symbol on a bulldozer. Then, he addresses them as his fellow Americans. They instantly recognize him. Anarky asks them if this is it. They let the bank take their home and they retreat into booze. The vet asks, what can they do about it? The bank has the law on their side. Anarky responds, whose law? The law of the people? You are the people. The law of the rich and powerful made to keep the rest in their place. But for the vets, the threat of jail is more than words can counter. To act is to lose their freedom. But Anarky tells them, just watch me. He then connects 2 frayed wires. The Batman, still waiting on high, hears the roar of the bulldozer come to life as Anarky hotwires it. As he puts the machine in gear, he tells the homeless that you cannot lie down and take it. You must hit back where it hurts, in their wallets. The bulldozer then smashes through the security fence and heads towards the unfinished bank. The Batman reacts and heads towards the disturbance. The homeless vets cheer Anarky on and rush in behind him. For them, Anarky has the right idea. They knock down their homes. Turnabout is fair play. As Anarky destroys the scaffolding, he feels good about the destruction, because it is not destruction for destruction's sake. It is a cleansing. The Batman approaches. He can see the crowd. Anarky's madness is now spreading, and he has to give it to him. He suckered the Batman nicely. He never thought to think he would make his play here. First, the Bat takes out a few of the homeless rioters. Anarky is then shocked to see him. He shouldn't be here. But then again, maybe the whispers are true. Maybe there is more than one Batman. Maybe he's supernatural. Anarky escapes the bulldozer as the Batman lands on its roof, but he has not gone far enough. With a single leap through the air, the Dark Knight is on top of him, and they both tumble to the ground. The Batman is confused though. He stops for a second to wonder why there is hardly any weight to Anarky's body. And as his foe crawls and reaches his golden staff, the Batman rips the golden mask from his face to reveal his identity, but blank, a white, faceless mold, like a styrofoam mannequin. This moment of surprise is enough time to allow Anarky to stun the Batman with an electric shock to the chest. So now, Anarky has answered his own questions. Nothing supernatural, just a man after all. The vets celebrate. Anarky has beaten the Batman. But the Batman begins to immediately get back up. Maybe Anarky was wrong. Maybe he isn't just a man. The Batman tells Anarky it's not over yet, and swings a metal pipe, lifting Anarky up and tossing him into barrels filled with oil. The legless veteran, still atop the hill of dirt, tells his friend Pete to give him a shove. Pete reminds his friend that that's the Batman, but the legless vet ignores him and orders Pete to just do it, and Pete does. The former soldier races down the hill and runs directly over the Dark Knight, coming to rest on top of him, shouting for his friends to come and help. The group tells their friend, who they affectionately call Legs, that they are with him. 5 of them commence a pummeling on our hero when Anarky is back up, covered in oil, his arms numb, hardly able to walk, looking for a way to live and fight another day. Meanwhile, the vets tell the Batman that it's nothing personal as they hold him down and throw punch after punch. It would be an easy situation for the Bat to get out of, but the jolt from the electricity is still causing muscle spasms, and not wanting to severely hurt any of them, even though he's receiving boots, fists, even teeth in his leg, the Batman takes it, coils into a ball, and then unwinds, tossing all of his attackers away. Now, it's time to pursue Anarky, and it won't be long before he catches him. As Anarky stumbles along as fast as he can, he knows it won't take long for the Bat to catch up. He never gives up. Anarky needs someplace to hide. He enters the Gotham Insurance Company building. The Batman follows. He asks the doorman if he's seen anyone come through. The doorman tells him no, that he was away getting coffee, but only for a couple of minutes. The Batman knows it was time enough. Then he notices the elevator is going up. He waits for it to stop. He has the right floor number. Then the Batman races up the stairs. He barges through door 501, the accounts payable department. Only one person there, Mike Machin, in his cubicle. Mike is astonished to see Gotham's protector. He then tells the Bat, "You found me." Mike Machin gives himself up. The Batman asks him, "Give what up?" Mike then screams, "I'm Anarky. Arrest me." He tries to show the Batman the files on his computer, and then he even produces Anarky's oil-soaked red cloak. "Save it," the Batman tells Mike, and runs for the maintenance closet door down the hall. As he opens it, he tells the real Anarky to come out, kid. There, collapsed on the floor, is Lonnie Machin, the real Anarky, a mannequin strapped by harness to his shoulders to make him appear taller. Hurt, in pain, and tired, Anarky exits the closet. He tells his father thanks, but he also told him, "You can never fool the Batman." With that, Lonnie collapses again. Mike Machin panics for his son. He calls an ambulance, while the Batman covers up Lonnie. The Batman feels lucky. He knew when he first hit him that he must have been just a kid. No resistance to the blows at all. They are both lucky. The Batman could have killed him. The Batman tells Mike that his son will hurt, but he will survive. And now that the Batman has realized that Mike is Anarky's father, he asks if Mike knew anything about this. Mike tells him that he found out last night when he accidentally picked up one of Lonnie's computer disks. It had all the information on it, his plans, his beliefs, even the research he was doing on the Batman. Then, when he heard the news about a guy named Anarky and the things he had done, he didn't know what to do. He wasn't going to turn his own son into the police. The Batman tells him that if he had, he might have saved them all a lot of pain. As they turn away from Lonnie, neither notice that he is conscious and holding a can of red spray paint. The only sound that comes from a smirking Lonnie is the hissing of canned air. Later on, the Batman is on top of GCPD headquarters, explaining everything to Commissioner Gordon. The commissioner wonders, tasers, gas bombs, and a 12-year-old made them at school? What are they teaching them nowadays? The Batman tells the commissioner that Lonnie is a straight-A student, cocky, confident, thought he knew all the answers, had to do it his own way, yet I can't help but admire him. The commissioner pushes back, "You're not thinking," but the Batman stops him there. No, he is not thinking, as the image of Jason Todd drifts through his mind. Anarky is not a viable replacement as Robin, the boy wonder. The commissioner tells the Batman that he should not feel guilty. If he had not caught him, who knows how many people he would have hurt. The Batman corrects him. Hurting innocent people wasn't really his thing. He only wanted to set the world straight. As the Batman turns to glide away, he tells the commissioner that he can't find it in his heart to blame Anarky for that. As the Dark Knight's cape unfurls in the Gotham air, the commissioner sees that Anarky got one final act of resistance in, his symbol graffitied on the Batman himself. Because the essence of true anarchy is surprise and spontaneity. Thus ends the first appearance and origin story of one of the Batman's most socially and politically divisive foes, Anarky. I hope you enjoyed this look back into pop culture and comic book history. If you want more comic book fun right away, click on the thumbnail at the end of the video for our look back at the origin story of Saint Walker, leader of the Blue Lantern Corps. You'll be glad you did. I thank you for watching. Until next time, remember I'm still your reluctant gringo from somewhere south of the border. Salut and a huevo.